But check this out. I was literally getting ready to clean off that coin right down here in the water. And look what's uncovered. Greetings everyone and welcome to the video. I hope you're all having a great day. For those of you who have been around for a while, you may remember in the summer of 2021, I metal detected around an abandoned baseball field that I had located up in the mountains in a very rural area. The video you're about to see is the sequel to that hunt. I went back about a month later, but I never released the footage. I found a lot of good stuff this second time there too. Almost 2.5 years later, I'm finally getting the video finished and released, and that's what you're about to see. I hope you enjoy, and I have more on the way. Take care. You know I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Come on. Come on, get across the road there. There you go. I am at my destination, standing here in front of the abandoned backstop, and I feel like today is going to be a good day. We had a fluke summer day here. It's only like 70 degrees, there's no humidity. We had a bunch of rain yesterday evening into this morning, and the ground's a little bit, it's definitely moist. This field has been cut since I was here last. I think this is going to be the perfect day for detecting. I canceled all my other plans, everything I had to get done. I said, today I'm going out and digging. I can feel it, we're gonna find something good. There's a lot of somethings here, a lot of targets, but today we gotta find something good. I would like to find, like we did last time, it would be awesome if we could knock off the 3 categories, which would be old coins, jewelry, and old relics. This town was founded in the late 1700s, so you never know what could be randomly back here. As you know from last time, I found that amazing, absolutely amazing heel plate from around the Civil War period. So we're gonna get to looking. I'll probably turn the camera on and show you the first find, or at least the first coin. But it's all cut, nice low grass, moist ground, 70 degrees, cloudy, low humidity. Probably going to be the nicest day we have this summer to detect. So I'm going to take advantage and just to show you here that there can be stuff anywhere. Right is what was used as home plate, just where stuff's washed out. Have even like little pieces of pottery or china down in here. So there's all kinds of stuff in here. We just got to get the coil over the good metallic stuff. And let's just take a look back here while I have this camera on, because I never showed behind the backstop. Last time I was here, I just showed the scoreboard. Check this out. Man, this has just been growing in for so long. some trash back here. I think it's mostly just plastic bottles. Very grown in back here. Cobwebs. But yep, let's get to looking. Well, I think it's about to get good. Dug my first signal. It's just a modern pull tab. Second signal sounded pretty close to the surface, but it was a very solid tone, kind of like bouncing around the zinc range. It was a little bit odd. And believe it or not, my second hole, I've got a ring. I told you all when I came in here and dug all the junk tones and shallow stuff, we'd probably pull up more jewelry. Oh man. That's pretty awesome. This is one of those, I think this is a tungsten ring. I have never dug one of these before. There's a mark on the inside, but this has not been down there for a very long time. Yep. Swiss tungsten. Unbelievable. That was my second find. Unreal. That thing is heavy too. A little bit big for me. That's a big ring. All right. Let's keep looking. It's gonna be a good day. So apart from one of those pull tabs from the 70s or 80s, my last few signals in the last 5 to 6 minutes, I got this weird triangular piece of copper, kind of rang up like a nickel, and I got a Pepsi cap, and one other piece of junk, and I'm going to be chasing the faint deep targets today to see if I can find some old stuff under this baseball field. Once I hit this layer, it has a lot of these compact rocks, just like the original soil in this area. It's hard to dig, and there's old stuff down in it. I had a signal in this hard pack, actually kind of, I don't know, in the, we could say it's in the closest part of the outfield to probably second base, and I went down really deep. And I got this little piece of lead here. It's very small, but it's very oxidized. This looks like it could be an old 1800s pistol bullet that hit something very solid. At least that's what I think it is. Man, that was way down there for a faint signal. I was hoping it was going to be an old thin silver barber dime or something. But we'll take that. Okay, well I did a pretty good job last time clearing out the old coins out of this area. I hit a lot of wheat pennies in through this area between the edge of the field and kind of the line way down from first base where it's all original soil here. I figured since it's going to be really conductive now, I'll go really slow and hit it. And the soil's just perfect. Had a solid signal down here, and I got a nickel. It was hard to hit the nickel tones last time. I was trying to avoid digging too many pull tabs, but this time I'm going to be digging all those faint signals, especially the deeper ones. And it's got a little bit of white on it, and I see some yellowish. I hope. Could this be a World War II era nickel? I guess we're going to find out when we pull it out. I don't think it is. I think this is a modern one with some discoloration on it. Got some weird stuff on it there. I don't know what that is. Wow, that's really crusty. That may be fairly old. That could be 1960s or older. I'm going to clean it off and I'll let you know. Well, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this on there, but man, it's got some kind of crazy crust on it. I don't know if this was dropped with something stuck to it. Maybe it's super old chewing gum. I have no idea. As it dries off, you probably won't see it on the edge there, but I could see the date. Oh, you can kind of see it there a little bit, but it's a 1956. So that's in the range of a lot of the wheat pennies I was finding, late 1950s. There was definitely something stuck to both sides of this. So I'll check the hole again in case there's anything else in there. But that's the first coin, and it's a fairly old one. There might be something else small in there. I'll fish around. Either way, I'll get back to you if I pull something out of here or out of the next hole. And the sun is out. Okay, so my last two targets, I got a tiny little piece of copper there, an old brass shell casing, which was very shallow, kind of sounded like a pull tab. And right here I had a solid 88 that wouldn't budge. I figured we'd do it semi-live because it's a little bit deeper. It sounded like a perfect silver dime. But I'm getting down into that second layer, and I tested it with the pinpointer already, and it's right here, so we're going to uncover it live. I'm sorry for the weird shadows here. Let me make sure. Let's do it this way. I'll cover it completely, that way it'll stay kind of consistent here. All right. Let's see if it is a silver coin. I don't know if it's deep enough for in this section. Nope, it looks like it's going to be a clad quarter, which makes sense. It rang up a notch lower than they normally do. That quarter's been down there for a while. Look how red it is. Looks like we got a little ant colony going on down there. I can't see the date on this right now, but that is very red. It's got the pretty high relief on it. It's probably going to be a quarter from the late 1960s, or perhaps from the early 70s maybe. But yep, solid signal. Obviously didn't run over that one last time. Still lots in this field. Let's continue on. There's like a pull tab signal right next to it here, so I'll probably dig that out while I'm down here. Well, this area before where I found a bunch of the wheat pennies and that strawberry shortcake pendant, it's very quiet. I guess even though it was a little more dry, I did a good job detecting it. It came a little bit further out. Toward the middle of the field, I did a lot of digging out here too. Had a shallow zinc penny signal, which I actually thought it was going to be a zinc penny. Turned out to be a little bit bigger. It's another old key. Got one of these last time. Well, actually a set of two of them. This one looks slightly different. Not sure if it's from the same set of keys that I found last time or not. I'm pretty sure it's going to have the same design on it from the National Law Company. Maybe, but either way, at least we're getting on to the oddball stuff today. More jewelry in the oddball relic items rather than coins. But like I said, I'm digging everything today. Last time I was more focusing on cherry picking the very high conductive coin-like signals, and today it's pretty much dig it all, because I knew the coin signals would be a lot slower considering I dug 103 coins out of here last time. So, oh, and that signal that was next to that last target was a piece of foil. And so we'll throw that key in the pouch and we will keep searching. What do you think, guys? Should we do this one live? I finally locked onto a deeper signal that I think is going to be a coin. I'm back here in the section pretty close to where I found the mercury dime before I ended the day last time. Here's one bouncing between 79 and 80, 81. When you pull the coil back a little bit, sometimes it thunks 79. Depth is at least a few inches. This kind of sounds like how the old wheat pennies back here rang up. Let's give it a try because the soil's soft. Should be about that 4-inch range roughly, where a lot of the coins have been back here. Oh, there I see some glass in the hole. Hopefully it's not a bottle top. Let's get that glass out of there. Right down to it. Oh, what is that? It's not a coin. Some kind of piece of junk. You can see why I thought that might be a coin. Check out how perfectly round the end of that is. Oh well. Okay, in the middle of the field, Not too many signals out here right now. In the low 70s, I dug out this weird solid piece a moment ago. I actually think it's lead. It's very bizarre. I don't know what that is. It seems like a solid chunk of lead, which even makes it more confusing because it doesn't look like a bullet. Could be though, I have no idea. It's an odd one. But faint signal, 3.5 inches down, rang in about 55, which is low for a nickel. It's a buffalo. Check that out. And this has a lot of detail on it. I think it's still going to have a date on it when I clean it off. So it's probably from the early 1930s, early to mid 1930s. But it could be older. But anyway, it's a buffalo nickel. I knew there had to be one in here, a buffalo or a war nickel. So we'll take it. What a sweet find right there. These low tones are treating me good. I went up about 1.5 yards, and right in that nickel range. I thought it might just be a piece of junk, but I think I just found a ring. I think it's an old one. I don't think it's precious metal, and it's definitely not gold. That ring up super low. Yeah, that's an old one, man. Look at the little diamond type things in there. They're probably not going to be real, naturally. A couple of them missing. There's a red one up there. I think this is really old though, even though it's not a precious metal. It's definitely a vintage ring. That is sweet. Ring number 2 on the day. I was not expecting that to come out of the hole. That is so awesome. 2 old nickels, 2 rings, pistol bullet, a key, some other doodads, and a couple coins. We ain't doing too shabby. Nice. Solid signal right near the surface right there. Little modern vehicle. So I got a rhino on it. That's pretty sweet. We'll take it. Can you hear that beeping behind me? Someone else detecting here. Okay, I've circled around the field and I haven't found much in the last 20 minutes. I got 1 zinc penny, I got 1 modern state quarter close to the surface, and I'm kind of in where around third base would be, I think about right here for the ball field. And I had a zinc tone, but it was down a few inches. And just a moment ago, I was combing the hillside again and I found 5 pennies in the same hole, and the newest one I could see is 1969, so it looks like a late 60s, early 70s penny spill. I'll show them cleaned up later, but right here, got a really interesting looking button. Looks civilian, doesn't look military to me. Very interesting pattern. I'm not exactly sure how old it is. Kind of like, looks like a 2-piece. If I had to throw out a guess, I'd say early to mid 1900s on this. I don't think it's too incredibly old. But pretty sweet find anyway. Nice old relic. Okay, I'm working back toward the hillside and the tree where all the trash is, and trying to get some good signals in between here. Right by one of these cones, I had a solid penny signal, and this shows you how much trash is in here. It wasn't a penny. When I saw a quarter, I'm like, oh, there must be more in the hole. Maybe it's a coin spill. It was just a modern quarter in the hole with a piece of, looks like a piece of an aluminum can. So that small piece of aluminum was probably more like a nickel signal, and then it kind of netted the difference. So the two of them together sounded like a penny. We'll keep digging. Alrighty, so I'm just sitting here on the hillside to get a break for a second. The sun's been coming on and off, so it's actually been quite hot for the last 40 minutes. But anyhow, so while I was detecting here, 2 other guys with 2 other detectorists stopped by and detecting this field. One guy told me he's detected this field about 50 times. He was using a White's Classic ID, I think it was, one of the analog ones, except it did have the 2 knobs, but it also did have the digital screen. And it's a little bit newer of a model than I started with when I first started detecting. When I was like, I don't know, like just turning 14 years old. I had a White's Classic 2, which just is a slightly older model. So it's a decent detector for a more budget one. And his buddy, I guess they got him one. It was like a $160 detector, but it was They even showed it in action, and I was watching it. It was actually, I don't know what brand it was, but it was honestly a piece of junk, and I think they knew that too. But he showed me an awesome, he was over here the other day, he showed me an awesome token he found. He said it's from the 1860s, that he looked it up, and I'm not quite sure, but it was an awesome old bronze token with a lot of lettering on it. I can't remember exactly what it was for, but it was really cool. But, you know, there's a lot of targets in here, and they found some stuff over the times that they've detected it. He didn't tell me of anything amazing, but he said that they found wheat pennies. He showed me that token and some other odds and ends. I did show him the one ring that I found, the older one, and he was really excited about that because he hasn't found a ring at this location. But really nice guys. I don't know if they just went to use the restroom or get a drink, or if they left or not, but we were going to exchange information and try to detect some more places up here together. So we'll see if that happens or not. I don't know if they took off for the day or if they'll be back here, but I'm taking a break real quick. I'm going to get back to digging and see what we can pull up. Pretty good day. And I already did it. I already got the jewelry, I already got the old coins, and I already have an old relic. So, I mean, I've only been here an hour and the signals are a lot slower, but I'm digging everything repeatable, except for the modern trash on this hillside is insane. Not digging all that out yet, so I'm digging a lot of pull tabs, but for an hour and a half in roughly, already doing really well. So let's see what else the ground has to give us. I'm detecting the steep slope again, where last time I found a 1939 and 1940 wheat penny and a lot of other coins from the 60s. And I hit another one here. I'm not getting many coins this time. It's slowing down a lot, but I got a 1967 right there. No wheat pennies yet today, but yet I have a nickel from the 50s and a buffalo. But we'll keep working it. They're still down here, for sure. So I'm detecting the infield now between home plate and the pitcher's mound, and I figured it'd be more modern-ish coins and jewelry in through here. But I just wanted to try to find an area that had more targets, and believe it or not, I just found a half cent. Literally, I just found half of a penny. I got this side with a date. It's a 1978. So from past experience, I know that the infield, they would have kept this mowed really, really, really low, you know, to look good. So the mower probably cut this copper coin in half. So probably had a really sharp blade, but there you go. Right between home plate and the pitcher's mound. I mean, 1978 half cent. Well, I was going to do the signal live, but then I figured, no, let's not, because it sounds like a shallow clad quarter, and it is a shallow clad quarter, 1981, but you can see the corrosion blob there and how it's preserved underneath. It appears it was stuck to another coin, so we'll set that quarter aside. Actually, let's throw it in my pouch so I don't lose it. It's right down there. We'll see if it's another quarter, because it was ringing in solid 90. Oh, no. It was stuck to a dime. I don't know if I can, I don't think these have been down there too long. Let me see if I can see the date on this dime. It's nice to date the coin spills. It's hard to see because that's the side that was corroded. No, that's 2007, so let's see if there's more. That's it. 1980s quarter and a 2007 dime. About an inch down here in the infield. Something smokeless. Something is active. Don't know what that came off of. Here's another good signal. It sounded like a penny, but I knew it was larger. I thought it was just going to be part of an aluminum can. Very shallow. Looks like I got me a piece of a motorcycle. This one's not very old. It was pretty close to the surface. But now that I'm digging everything, getting some of the toys out of here. We'll clean it up later and see how it looks. Okay, I had a very thunky signal in the nickel range, and I got something interesting here. I think it may be some sort of piece of jewelry. That looks fairly old. You know what? I wonder if I broke the bottom of it off. I think that's an ankh, or I think that's how you pronounce it, A-N-K-H. The rest of it might be down under there. Should be a bar right here on the bottom. Looks like a piece of it. It was in the back of my hole and I went under there to get it. Hopefully I didn't break it, but, well, I mean, if the other piece is down in here, I did break it. Unless it's kind of old and fragile and it was already broken in the hole. Here it is. I think the rest of it's back here. Well, either way, at least I knew to look for that piece. Oh, did I just drop it? It just, stuff goes missing. It just fell out of my hand. Where did I drop it? There it is. So this is, I don't know, it has something to do with, like, I think Egyptian mythology, something like that. I may have broke it. It was fairly shallow, and I thought it was junk, so I probably did hit that with a shovel when I was cutting the plug. We can fix it, right? Why not? That's pretty old, though. That's a pretty cool find. I came here on the opposite side of the field. I didn't work in this area too much last time, but I did find a wheat scent over there by this goal. And it seems like there's been some ground shifting over here. Now the detectorists that were here, the one told me that the old skull actually used to be down here. I guess he's lived in this area for a very long time. You can see all this is dug up here. I don't know if that was a tree or something else. But like I said, that gravel runs the whole way along. But I just dug a pull tab here a moment ago. Finally had a solid coin signal right here. Wasn't more than about 3 inches down. And got a lot of good finds today, but that's my first wheat scent. Can't see the date on it, but glad to knock that off the list. Now, hopefully we got a silver coin coming. But even if we don't find one, we got quite the variety today. Very good hunt. Okay, I'm gonna do this one semi-live. I already cut the plug. I'm here on the other side of the goal. That wheat penny was about right where my finger is right there. And I have a solid coin signal here. It's bouncing between 84 and 86. It sounds like the silver dime sound, but of course it could be a copper penny, or it could just be a dime that's fooling us, like a normal dime. Sometimes the clad dimes will spike slightly higher. So let's see what we have. It does at least sound like a coin to me. Very concise. Oh, actually I can see the edge of it right there. It's a penny, so it's probably going to be an older one. I don't know, is that another wheat scent? Or can you see the memorial on the back of that one? Normally if you can't see the memorial right away, normally it's a wheat. But that one is really caked with dirt. I'll let you know. Well, we finally did it at this spot. I don't know how it happened last time. I dug, what was it, like 24 pennies from the 1960s? But I didn't find a first year issue 1959. I don't know if you can see it on there. So I guess the curse of the 59 will continue on. That might be the first one I found this year, but it's a 1959 first year issue memorial scent. All right, we'll take it. Hopefully at least the next one's a wheaty or silver though. I thought that one was gonna be a silver dime if it was old, but hey, can't win them all. Well, I figured out why that signal was funky. That penny was literally right here by these rocks. Still had a nickel tone right off the side of it, and I thought, well, this probably is a coin spill, but who knows, could be a pull tab next to it. I was gonna do it semi-live after I did this plop and could read it with the pinpointer, but when I did that, this shot out of the hole. So that is definitely a Jefferson. I'm just going to assume, both being at about 2.5 inches, that this is probably dropped the same time that 1959 penny was. The relief looks pretty high on this, so let me clean this up and see what the date is. Yeah, I think so. The nickel's in 1968, and certainly pennies from the late 50s would have been normal pocket change in 1968. So there you go. Nickel from 1968, penny from 1959. We'll call that a late 1960s coin spill. Perhaps early 70s, but let's go with late 60s. Sounds better. Let's finish this one live in case it's good. Solid penny signal down in there. Looks like there's some lumps of coal in this hole as well. Oh, it's already on. Right here. It is a dime. Oh man, it's not silver though. But it does look like it's been down there for a while, so probably another mid to late 60s or 1970s clad dime. So many coins in this area dropped in the late 60s up and through the 1980s, so There's silver in here. I'm sure there's at least one more piece in here somewhere. Let's get her. Man, this one's gotta be a silver. Solid, it's slamming. 85, 86. Let's turn this way. Don't hit 84 this direction. 85, 86 that way too. Got some depth on it. Come on, I think this is the silver dime we've been looking for. And my pants just split. Let's, I dug a zinc penny just a moment ago that was actually a few inches down here. All right. Come on. Let's see a flash of silver. And of course the sun just came out. And oh, it is. Nice. We finally did it. Let's turn this off and get my glove off. I saw it. I saw it flash on us. Right about silver Roosevelt dime. 1964, I think. Yep, last year. Hey, we'll take a last year silver. Silver is silver. 1964. That one had the right sound, and the good thing was it didn't change tone when I turned the other direction, which told me, well, this one's gotta be it. And that one was super shallow. I mean, we're only talking 2.5 inches tops right here. So that shows you, in this field, any square foot where there's soil, there can be something good down there. Right on. We've hit everything today. Silver, wheat penny, old nickels, jewelry, relics, old and new. Let's get some more. Okay, I'm several yards over from where the silver dime. It was further out here, and I'm another 2 rows down from my pattern. And I'm gonna do this one live because I at least think it's gonna be old. It's on the bottom of the hole, and it was down under this rock. Now, it rang up 81. So I'm thinking it's probably just gonna be an old penny, but you never know, being this deep. Could be worn silver, could be anything. It may not even be a coin, but I think it's going to be. Right down on it now. There it is. Pull it out right here. Oh wow, that is not even a wheat cent. Why are they so deep right here? It's a copper cent, but man, that was down there. Let's see if there's more in there. No more in there, but hey, coin's a coin. Moving on. So right over there on the sun, I got a solid high 60s, low 70s signal that sounded a little bit higher than a pull tab. And it was indeed a pull tab, but I figured I'd show this one. This is the first one I found at this location that is one of the original style pull tabs released to the public. That is early 1960s right there. So figured I'd show it. It's got the complete beaver tail. You can see the more square-ish design than the modern round ones. And that one's complete, so I figured I'd show it. But yep, early 1960s, a good sign. If you're finding these, it shows you that there could be silver nearby. Or at least the place hasn't been detected super hard. So onward we go. Let's get some more goodies. Alright, I think I'm going to go get some shade and some water for a bit. It is really hot out here when the sun is not covered by a cloud. It's above me right now. The sun's not behind there. Back this way, I got a 1982 dime, I think it was. About not even a yard away from where I'm at now. I got a 1968 penny. Right down here, 3 inches deep, had another solid coin signal, and that's a 1962 penny. So I think I'm in a little bit of a hot spot here where there's a still concentration of coin signals. At least this is the most target-rich area I've found so far. So I'm going to focus my efforts between the hill and that goal, because there's my first pass through here today. I mean, that's about my 7th or 8th coin. So we're going to keep on, see if we can get another silver or a wheat penny or some jewelry. I literally went another 1.5 feet and had a solid low tone, and it was about 2.5 inches down, and it is a nickel. So let's see if we can see the year on this together. The relief looks pretty high, so it should be at least 1960s. It's not a buffalo though, I can tell you that, so that's why I'm rubbing it. If it was a buffalo, we wouldn't be rubbing it, and it's not a war nickel because it doesn't have that look. And I can't really tell on there. I'll clean it up and let you know in a second. Nickel is 1964, same year as that silver dime we found about 10 minutes ago. Still hitting some signals as I work the flat part right at the base of the hill. I'll show you what I got here in a second, but right next to it is this gigantic rock that some kid probably threw down here. But let's do the good deed of the day and throw this over by the fence line so the mower doesn't hit that, because that would absolutely destroy the blade. All right, let's go show you what I got over here. I think this is going to be an old coin. Ooh, finally some shade. A little bit. Little baby cloud. Baby cloud, we'll take it. So when I flip this big plug down, it is really soft soil here. That's like 6 inches. But you can see where I think a penny was stuck to that. So flipped over this way, it should be on this side of the hole. We should be able to see it like right here. It's funny, when you can see the imprint, sometimes you just can't see the coins. They break apart so clean. And believe it or not, we're gonna have to use the pinpointer. Yeah, so it is right there. Here it is, right there. Oh, let's take this in the shade. It's not a coin, it's gonna be something cool. Oh, that got me. I'm happy now. Actually, the shade's coming back without us running for it, but let's go here in case it comes back out anyway. What do we have? Oh, that is so cool. Good something. Woodsman. So is this... Ooh. What is this? Oh yeah, it's a pin. If this might be Woodsman of the World, which is an insurance company these days. I found stuff from them before. Long history behind that company. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but this has something to do with, let's say, good camp something. Got a tent on it. Something to do with camping. And it's an old pin. That is super sweet. That was deep, so that's going to be slightly older. I mean, it could be the same range as this pennies I'm finding. 1950s, 1960s. All right, I'll clean it up later. I am happy with that. I thought it was just going to be a wheat cent. Even better yet. Taking another break. It is really hot out in the sun, even though it's cooler today. I don't know what they call these things. Little merry-go-round thing, but there's one here on the end of the school with this playground, and the other detectorist that was here earlier told me that he had looked over here before by this tree and this thing, and he found like $4 worth of change. I don't know if he found anything old, but of course I avoided this spot because it's just all wood chips, and there's going to be mounds and mounds and mounds of trash here. Like a little area, I think the barbecue over there, and just, I'm sure there's loads of trash. Now on these strips, could there be an old coin or two floating around? Absolutely. But you can see a lot of ground shifting at some point here, but worth a shot. This is a business over here, but I'd like to get back into this field because it's so cut and it's next to the old school here. And take a look at that old building down there. Yeah, so if I can get into some permissions around here, that would be awesome. Have to do some scouting, see if I can figure out who owns some of these places back here and talk to them. But not the greatest place in the world probably to door knock, because there's not many houses where people live in the current day. I'll show you across the street here. Check out that abandoned Victorian era looking place. I mean, it's been growing in for probably, doesn't look like any of that's been cut back for at least 15 years. And there's a vehicle in the old driveway over there. It's just completely abandoned. So I don't know who owns the land though. So I'm gonna have to do some scouting. I don't think the school owns it. Well, I looked at the plot. The school, like I said, only owns from pretty much the road there, the whole way back to past the creek, and then the sides of the fence here. So I can't go anywhere else now. But I can maybe poke around for some modern stuff while I'm getting some shade here. And then I think maybe, just maybe we will try to go across the creek into that flat area in the woods over there. Would at least be worth a shot, considering I found mid-1800s relics in this field. back in the day, in the 1800s, there would have been people following this creek back this way. So, it'd be worth a shot anyway. Alright, let's get to swinging with that, not on that. While I was taking a break in the shade here, I figured I'd swing around this little playground area just to see if there was anything in here. And there's not a lot in here, but there's definitely signals. You can tell nobody detects this skull a lot. Or like I said, apart from that guy I bumped into, he's probably the only local that detects this place frequently, because there's just still so much stuff here. I mean, even though he's been pulling stuff out over the last several years, I mean, there's still stuff all over here. Got a crusty zinc penny right on the surface over there. Looked like it's been there for a while. And here, I went down below the wood chips in the normal soil layer, and I got a dime that looks like it's been in this playground for quite a while. So, and he was right. There's a lot of, there probably is a lot of change over there. I did one swipe around that tree, and there was tons of trash, and got a modern dime like an inch down on the opposite side of it. So, I've got like 21 cents here in the last 2 minutes. But I'm not going to do this all day. We're going to go look for old stuff. Now this is where it's at, right here. These are good too. Ooh. That's a good one. These are a little bit tart, a little bit sweet right in the middle. Dandy. Man, these have such good flavor. I haven't tasted ones this good in a long time. These taste better than the store-bought ones. I'll have to look for some more. Not too many ripe ones on here. Aha! There we go. Try that one right there. Don't you wish you could eat that? Too bad, it's mine. Alright, let's get back in the creek there. It's getting to the point in the day where I don't want to carry fines anymore, so I shed my knee pads, I shed my pouch. I'm just stuffing everything in my pocket, so I got to make a pile of the bigger trash. I was going to use one of these cones in the sport field to mark my fines, and I don't think we're going to use that because there looks like a recent birth of spiders. Hundreds of them down in there in that cone. So anyway, in the back of this field, a moment ago, I just dug the end of a light bulb. This must have been pitching some trash back here. Maybe it's home site stuff, that would be cool. I did get a really old lead bullet back here. Now that one looks a bit peculiar. I don't think that's Civil War period. That looks more probably, I don't know, sometime around 1900, give or take. And I left this one here last time, but we're gonna take it this time. A golf ball right by where the creek starts here. So we're gonna set all these fines down right here for now and come back and get them a bit later. And I guess I'll do this in the heat, but back here on the edge where almost everything has been old, I just hit a coin signal back here, so we gotta do this one live. $82, $83. A little bit funky, but you know, the older coins when they're deeper, they're not going to ring in absolutely perfect. Very soft soil back here, except it's a lot more rocky. So hopefully this is an old coin. I'm pretty sure all the old coins we found back here, all the coins we found back here last time were old. And of course this could be some lead ammunition just ringing in a little bit off too. Deeper yet. At least that's what I'm thinking. Yep. Right down in here. Sorry for that pinpointer going bonkers every time I get the shovel close to it. The White's TRX is a very noisy pinpointer. Wow, whatever this is, it is very, very deep. Which is good, because it could be old. Oh man. And you can see getting back here where the trees are, this is where some roots start as well. Man, I still can't get to it yet. Cut some of those fine roots. This is a chore with the hand shovel as target. Not fun at all. Oh, I think I got down to it there. Did I see a flash of something? Where'd it go? Okay, got it out. Oh my goodness. Is that a coin? Unbelievable, it's a coin. That thing is crusty. Let's take this back here in the shade. Let's go on this trail here. Unbelievable. Spiders all over me. Unbelievable. You know how green that is. Hopefully that's an Indian head penny back here, because we did find that some 1800s relics here. But there's no way I'm going to tell on this one right away. But look at that green color. That is crazy. I'll have to go wash it off in the creek and see what we have. But man, I wasn't expecting that to be a disc once I got down that deep. Sweet. Old coin. Man, this is super cool. So, I didn't mention to you all in the last video, I said I was planning on coming down here to swing. I did for a few minutes before I left, just swinging really fast, and there was a little bit of trash down here, but I didn't pay too much close attention. We got a bit of rain last night, so I don't know if it came over here or not, but I just came down here to clean up that coin I found, which fell off of my shovel right here, by the way. Gotta be careful, that rolled over. That could have went missing. Not too long, because I have a detector. But check this out. I was literally getting ready to clean off that coin right down here in the water. And look what's uncovered. It's an old watch. That is crazy. Didn't even need the detector for this one. Let's go ahead and rinse it off. Looks like it stopped at around 7:14. You can see it's broken. Now there's water jiggling around in it. If I put it in my pants, my britches are going to be wet. So this isn't incredibly old, as you can kind of see from the back of it there. I don't know exactly how old it is, if it's like 1960s or 70s or something. Perhaps even from the 80s, I have no idea. But that was super cool to find right here. So I'm going to clean off that coin, and I'm going to swing around here a little bit, see if I can isolate anything else. It is so cool back here, but probably won't last the bugs too long. So we'll see what happens. A really cool area back here, a lot of bedrock exposed, so if there's anything old back here, it shouldn't be too hard to find. So when I cleaned off that green puck, it even got more green. Check out that color, but you can at least now see, because this side isn't as bad. That's a wheat scent, and when it was dropped there was a lot of detail on it. You can still see the wheat ears there, very distinct. Oh, I have to sneeze. We're not going to edit that out. I'm a sun sneezer. Anytime I get sun in my eyes, I let out a big one. Alright, well that's a wheat scent, and we got an old watch back here. So let's start swinging. Alright, so I'm digging down in there. That's literally like an inch away from where I found that watch. There was a signal down underneath it. I went 2 inches down in that silt there. And got this little piece of copper. I wonder if that came out of the watch. I'm not sure. That could be like the end of a wire or something, like a connector. But anyway, there's a bunch of this copper back down here, like that. I got all this stuff out of the water. So, not sure what the deal with that is. But anyway, there's some stuff down here, so I'm gonna keep looking around. It'd be cool to find a coin or something that is eroded down the bank here. So I think all those copper pieces that are down in through here are pieces that came off of some type of coil. That's what at least it seems like. Coil, basically what's in the side of metal detectors. But anyway, that was there. I planted that one there. We're gonna try a very sketchy hop, skip, and a jump to the other side here. So let's throw our digger over there. And we're not going to throw the detector over, but this could go very badly. I think I made sure this was stable-ish. Just slide it down off that rock. Ooh, that's quite the gap. Easy does it. Ooh. Okay, getting back could be a chore. Well, I didn't plan this out. Really know where to go here. I can step on the edge of that, and okay, I'm over. Getting back, on the other hand, may not be easy. A little sunken down pit over here. I'm curious to see if there's some old relics back here. I know there's going to be some old ammunition, at least somewhere back here, considering it's on the end of the field. There are some old trails back here. Oh, this is all runoff. Okay. And of course, we're not going to trek up there. That's super steep. I just wanted to come on this side a little bit to see if there's any relics on the side of this creek or some coins from kids coming over here over the years. Okay, I've walked down the path a little bit, still on the edge of the school property here. And man, I gotta sneeze again. You can see where it builds up here, where when this stream gets high, it floods to probably about right here, the base of this tree. But at least it cleared a lot of this out and washed this out right here. So I'm gonna look down this strip. I already dug one lead bullet that's kind of probably early 1900s. You can see down here some old tires. I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled. Another one over there. I'm gonna keep my eyes peeled in case there's any old bottles. I haven't seen any, really not even any glass. But down here, right in this washout, had a solid 70s signal. I don't know if this is some type of lead bullet. It's definitely lead. Let's see if we can get down here and wash this off a bit. I think we're getting a little bit older on the ammunition here. This looks like the one that I found in the field. Man, I think this stuff is like post-Civil War. I think it's like late 1800s type bullets. Somebody's gonna have to let me know. There's another one of them there that's lead, solid base. Found one of those in the field. That's at least my best guess. I think these are just a little bit post-war, late 1800s. That's my guess anyway. Somebody will correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, or at least tell me what kind it is. All right, let's keep looking. How old is that one? Not very old. I can't haul everything out here with me, but right when I said no bottles, looks like the hillside reclaimed this one under here. Looks like a big branch came down on it and smashed it, unfortunately. Knocked a big hole in the side. Screw top. That's pretty standard 1960s looking bottle. I find a lot like that. We'll set that back in there. But there are some buried in the hillside here. So I'll keep my eyes peeled, see if there's anything a little bit older or anything intact. Medicine bottles would be cool. But I can't go too much further this way because the school property runs completely like a rectangle the whole way back up this hill. So I'm not going to keep walking down here too much further. Looks like the top to an old soda here. Oh yeah, it's still got the label on it. I almost stepped on it. It was right under some brush. It's an old Pepsi. Older one. All busted up, of course, by the water here. People have been golfing back here too. Toward here, probably from the field. They're all in through here. But yep, some old mixed in with the new. Looks like a brick there. Yeah, some signs of man-made stuff for sure. There are old home sites around, so no telling what could be back up in here. But definitely worth some eyeballing, and I'm still going to swing the trail going back to the other end of the property, see if I get any signals. I'm going to skip the lower ones. They're kind of like shotgun head stamps and just the usual garbage and stuff. We're just going to try to cherry pick back here. Stick to the lead, copper, and brass sounding signals. And of course silver's in that range too. I'm not sure if somebody was trying to use this very sketchy system to run that across there and to hold on to while they walk across here. I don't know. That's obviously running across the creek. It's right about where I go out of here, except my little path is over here. So right down here, I pulled 3 of those same types of bullets out of the same hole. Except for this one, I'm assuming it's the same. That one went major splat, and there's like nothing left of it. But these are all those same kind of bullets, and I've never really dug those before. They're kind of interesting, but literally 3 of them right down there in that little area. So I'm going to keep walking up this way a little bit, and then we're going to go back out into the field. So I thought I saw a marble down here. I'm like right on the top of the bank by the water here. And something growing that's translucent. It's like a little bulb of some kind. From the top, that looked like a semi-cloudy marble. But anyway, right below it, there's a couple signals in the mid-70s, probably bullets. I'm gonna dig these out and head over the other side. I went up there maybe about 10 to 15 yards before it starts to get steep. Just like one old can lid, and then there's some wire back there. Wasn't hitting any other decent signals, so not going to spend any more time back here. So I'm back out in the field. I've been out here for like 15 minutes. It's been really slow, just chasing low tones and funky signals over by the hill a little bit, and came back out in the center now. Not finding much, but I just got a nickel from I think 1972, 70 something anyway. But I think I'm going to go for one more good target, and I think I'm going to pack it in. Let's get one more goodie. I'm still chasing those signals in the mid 50s to like right around 60, trying to find the old nickels and gold. And man, my last like 8 targets have all been the pull tabs from like the 1970s and 80s. There's still so many of those in this field, and they just randomly just hit the signals all of a sudden. And then I got a little piece of, the only higher signal I had in the upper 70s was a little piece of a aluminum fence. I do think that this ball field, at least part of it, was fenced at some point. Finally, after a bunch of pull tabs, here's a nickel. It's not very old though, it's like 1984. I'm going to slug it out a bit longer, because I probably won't be coming back to this location in a while. So I want to wear myself out on this beautiful day. But finally, another nickel. Alright, I am absolutely spent. I don't know how long I've been out here. Probably close to 5 hours. And wasn't finding anything else back out in the field. Got one fired bullet, a nut of all things. And one of the theories I have, it seems where I find the bits of fence, I actually think it curves. So I think the fence for the baseball field actually didn't go too far out. Like it wasn't like a full-size field. Maybe this was a little league field, because there's where some of the groundwork is, and it's really solid rocks and packed in. That seems to be where I find the little pieces of aluminum fencing. So I don't think this the fence to the end of this field was actually very far. Maybe only halfway out into that field tops. But anyway, working back here in the infield, I just picked up 2 modern quarters very close to the surface, and right over here have a deep like 88 signal down under this old gravel layer. Sounds very coin-like. I'm almost down to it, so we figured we'd finish it live, go out with a bang, see if it's a coin down under this gravel layer. Still down there yet. Sounded like a very good signal though. With the ground soft, I'm able to lock onto these super deep ones in this hard pack. There it is right there. It's a coin. You figured there's probably a lot of stuff buried down here out of reach of a metal detector. So I'm literally close to home plate. And right back in there. But is this a wheat cent? It's not a wheat cent, but it is 1968, so, you know, fairly old. A lot of these coins were dropped in and around the 70s, but yeah, that thing was down about 8 inches under the layer of the infield. I filmed the main portion of the wrap-up and realized I left a few things out, so I'm going to show this briefly and then go right into the main portion. First of all, I'm not an ammunition expert, but in preparing this video I did find out that those bullets are called wad cutters. They're not as old as I thought they were, unfortunately, and they're nothing historic or very interesting, but they are wad cutters, and figured I'd point that out so everybody doesn't have to let me know in the comments. The toy SUV I found, not very old. It's got a blue rhino on it. Kind of interesting. It's from Thailand. There's no date on it, but as you can tell, it's fairly modern. And I think this is the first toy motorcycle I ever dug. I've dug tons of toy cars and trucks and like things over the years, but that's a motorcycle, and once again, not very old. A few things I missed to show in the main portion of the wrap-up, which we're going to jump into right now. Welcome to the wrap-up of the finds from the abandoned baseball field, hunt number 2. I will link to the first video in the description if you would like to watch it. That was a really good one as well. I found a lot more stuff my first time there. I apologize for all of the stuff in the background that's not part of the wrap-up. I still have a lot of things I have to go through. This video was actually filmed about 2.5 years before I'm filming this wrap-up, but I was able to put everything back together because I had it separated in a very specific place. So let's go ahead and jump in. The more modern coins, we have the quarters there, dimes, nickels, pennies, including my first year issue 1959 Denver and my half penny from 1978. Over to the coins that are a little bit older. I never cleaned that one that had the heavy corrosion on it really good. I could hit it with a brass brush, so I'm not going to be sure exactly which date that is, but it is an old wheat cent. Another wheat penny, a 1951D. The nickel that I said was 1956 in the video actually turned out to be a 1950, which was kind of intriguing because the 1950 Denver is the rarest of all the Jefferson nickels. This one unfortunately doesn't have a mint mark, so it's from Philadelphia. But I actually have found the 1950 Denver metal detecting many years ago. So I've probably found most, if not all, of the Jefferson nickels minted. Probably close to a full collection. I'll be doing some of those videos in the future of putting coins in albums. The Buffalo nickel. Unfortunately, I just can't quite squeak out the date. Under extreme magnification, it might be there. The cool thing is, the acidity in the soil almost restored the date, kind of like the Nicodate product. I think this is an early one. I believe this date is I think it's from the 1910s or early 1920s. But if I'm able to pull the date on that, I'll let you guys know. You can kind of see the tips of some of the numbers, but it's really hard to make out. Very nice detail though. No mint mark, from Philadelphia. You can see the detail under there, kind of like the full horn. But like I said, I think the acidity in the soil actually ate in and restored some of the detail, because you can restore the dates on Buffalo nickels and some of the details when it rubs off with, using acid. You can't really do that on any other metals, but it does work on nickels. The silver dime, 1964. It's been sitting in my garage here so long to the open air that it actually started to tone. It's got this really crazy coloration. And actually, while I have you all here, let me show you one that's been sitting in my garage even longer. My silver basically turned this crazy blue and yellow color. This is a coin that I found in a video that I have never posted. And I'm not going to show the other finds from that, but check out that crazy color and see the back. Still fairly normal. But yeah, leaving them exposed to the air does some crazy things. I actually like that. It's one of the coolest ones. Some coins I don't want to tone, but man, that one turned out really cool. So that was the best of the old coins right there. Into the relics. I got that watch out of the creek. That was a really cool find. The Good Camper Woodsman pin of some sort. I think there would have been like a bar hanging off the bottom of here that would have said something. I'm not sure what. Maybe it was for identification or something, but Obviously there would have been something hanging off the bottom here, probably rectangular. I haven't really looked that up yet, so maybe I'll do that after I make this video. I got those couple rings. They're really nice tungsten carbide ring. And this one is definitely vintage, but it just has little pieces of, I don't even think it's cut glass. I think these are just plastic stone lookalikes in there, and a few of them are missing. But I would probably put this costume jewelry at the mid-1900s, around the era of a lot of the coins I was, finding, probably around 1960, give or take, if I had to guess. But it's just a cheaper ring. We got that Ankh symbol there. It's got sort of like this black inlay in it. I'm not sure exactly what material that is. I don't think it's onyx. But I haven't I don't think it's onyx. You can see it's chipped through. I think it's just some sort of cheaper piece of jewelry, but it is still a pretty cool find there. I got the old key and the button. So this abandoned baseball field has been really good to me. I have pulled a lot of targets out of there. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.